30 meters of open ground. No cover. No sight line beyond the tree line. The patrol stopped 11 minutes ago. Nobody gave the order. Nobody needed to. The dog was like a covert team leader. The dog stopped first. He is now at the edge of the tree line, completely still, weight shifted forward, ears oriented towards something nobody else can see. His breathing has slowed. His tail is down and motionless. His body is held in a deliberate suspension that experienced canine trainers recognize instantly. The team leader is not looking at the terrain ahead. He is looking at the dog. What he sees causes him to raise his fist into the air without a single word. The entire patrol freezes behind him. Nobody asks why. They have all learned to read what he is reading. The dog knows something. Every movement it makes carries a different meaning. Nobody moves until they understand what that is.
Every wonders what special forces operators are capable of. Their training, their equipment, how they make decisions under extreme pressure. Almost nobody asks what they cannot do. Everyone knows their potential. At distance, they cannot smell human presence behind vegetation. They cannot hear a footstep pressing into soft earth. They cannot detect explosive traces beneath layers of soil and air. They cannot read the full sensory profile of a dark and unknown environment in under 3 seconds. Canine dogs can. What canine dogs are capable of, their senses, their perceptions, and their receptors that are far more active than normal, allows them to detect every detail. And this is not intervention footage, not bite work, not dramatic entries. This is why elite units build tactical doctrine around a 4-legged animal that carries no weapon and receives no radio transmission. The dog fills a gap in human perception so fundamental that nothing deployed at the tactical level has ever been able to replace it. This video is about that gap, a gap that can never be filled. Not by technology, not by machines.
When most people imagine a canine dog on duty, the picture is consistent. A powerful animal, a taut leash, controlled aggression, waiting for a command. A striking image, also a description of approximately 5% of what these dogs actually do. The remaining 95% is invisible to anyone who doesn't know where to look. Not everyone understands their flawless behavioral language. A canine moving through an environment before an entry is not displaying aggression. It is producing an assessment as layered as the live intelligence report the operator walking behind it is reading. The dog's ears are saying something. The tempo of the nosework is saying something. The way it distributes its weight between front and rear legs is saying something. The moment it slows without appearing to slow, all of it carries information. Every movement of the canine dog is of immense importance to the operation. It sees the unseen, hears the unheard, and much more. None of it leaves a trace in an untrained eye. To an experienced operator, this looks like the most advanced reconnaissance system ever produced, operating on 4 legs, running on instinct refined over thousands of years, unjammable, undetectable, and completely silent. The bite is the last 10 seconds. Everything before it is the reason the dog is there.
Handlers who have worked in high-risk environments return to the same phrase when describing their dogs. The dog speaks first, not through any formal trained alert, not through sound, The dog speaks through the quality of his movement, the angle of his ears, the particular way his nose drops when concentration deepens, a specific stiffening across the upper back that experienced handlers read the way a pilot reads an instrument panel, not analytically, but with the immediate recognition of someone who has studied the same display for thousands of hours. What's being transmitted is environmental data, real time, from a sensory system that processes the surrounding world at a scale human biology cannot approach. Handlers describe a hard-won education in reading this language. Early in a partnership, they miss signals. They move forward when the dog was slowing for a reason. They misread posture as distraction rather than detection. Over time, the handler stops translating and starts perceiving. A change in ear angle arrives as direct information, the way a familiar voice carries emotional weight before the words fully register. This is what elite units mean by the dog-handler bond in operational terms. Not affection, though that exists. A calibrated two-way communication system built through repetition and consequence, precise enough to function in total darkness, under pressure that eliminates everything except what works. The dog speaks. The handler listens. What passes between them is intelligence no drone feed and no satellite image can deliver at the same resolution.
To understand why this matters tactically, you have to understand what is physically happening inside the canine dog during an operation. Start with the nose. A working dog carries approximately 220 million scent receptors. Humans carry around 6 million. The gap between them is profound, and the difference is not only quantitative, it is architectural. The portion of the brain dedicated to analyzing scent input is proportionally approximately 40 times larger than the equivalent region in a human. The dog does not experience scent the way we do. It experiences it the way we experience sight, as a primary, spatially organized sense that tells it where things are, how long ago they were there, and what condition they were in when they left. It uses its sense of smell as an additional sense of vision. A trained dog approaching a structure distinguishes between scent left hours ago and scent being actively produced right now. It detects the chemical signature of physiological stress, the hormonal output of a body operating under fear. Scent science research suggests these markers can be detected through walls, from inside vehicles, or from beneath surface covering, meaning the dog may have already profiled the target before the team reaches it. Now add hearing. Dogs detect frequencies beyond the human range at both ends of the spectrum, but the tactical advantage is not range, it is resolution. A dog can isolate a single sound source in a complex acoustic environment with a precision that has no human equivalent. The safety mechanism on a weapon. Breath being held slightly too carefully from a position that should be empty. A boot pressing into soft ground instead of hard surface. Each of these reaches the working dog's auditory system as clearly as a shout. The ears rotate independently, triangulating a source. When both ears lock simultaneously in a single direction, experienced operators, through years of reading the same animal, understand that something has been acoustically confirmed. The dog is not curious. It is confirming something it already smelled 3 seconds ago. Then comes the behavioral layer that no instrument can measure, but every experienced operator recognizes. Beyond specific sensory inputs, the dog appears to assess the total quality of an environment, the combined pattern of scent distribution, air movement, acoustic texture, and ambient temperature, and responds to the picture as a whole rather than its individual components. When that picture does not match what a neutral, empty space should produce, the dog's behavior changes in ways that are subtle to every outside observer, but unambiguously meaningful to a trained operator. The tempo shifts slightly, the tail drops, the nose work concentrates instead of sweeping, the body compresses slightly forward, the way a system reallocates processing power to a priority function. Operators call this the shift from searching to knowing,
Before it, the canine dog is collecting. After it, the canine dog has arrived at a conclusion. These dogs are like radar weapons. Escaping their perception is impossible. And when an operator sees that transition in the animal moving ahead of them, that specific practiced break, the operational picture changes, because the dog just reported something the sensors didn't catch, the imaging didn't show, and the intelligence report didn't anticipate.
Military trainers who have worked alongside Special Forces units describe a dynamic that shapes how operations unfold in real terrain. At entry, the available intelligence reflects the plan. Maps, imaging, human sources, the best human-generated picture of the target. Then, the canine dog reaches the approach point. Scenario after scenario, the dog's behavior during the final approach changed the operational picture without any human verification being possible. A small shift in tempo, a sudden directional stillness, occasionally a refusal to advance, initially attributed to handler error until the reason became clear. No barking, no display, just a change in the way the dog was moving, read by an operator who knows the difference between searching and finding. That dog at the tree line, 11 minutes of stillness. Weight shifted forward, ears locked, an entire patrol held by the posture of a single animal, communicating what its senses had already confirmed. The patrol received no updated intelligence, heard nothing, saw nothing. They changed because the dog changed. The approach changed. What happened after occurred on their terms, not on the terms of whatever was waiting beyond that open ground. This is what it means to trust the dog. Not sentimentality, operational calibration, the cumulative acknowledgement that in certain environments, at certain moments, the clearest intelligence available comes through 4 legs and a leash.
Dogs and humans have been working together for somewhere between 15 and 40,000 years. From the beginning, the relationship was built on detection, prey, approaching threats, strangers moving in the dark before there was language to name them. The rest we built: maps, satellites, electronic sensors, the entire apparatus of modern military intelligence. Technology could never advance to the level of dogs' receptors and senses. And we still send the dog first. Not because there is no alternative, because in close terrain, in the moment before a situation develops, nothing else performs at the same level. What a trained military canine working dog provides is precision, a continuous, real-time environmental reading communicated silently through a physical language that a skilled operator spends years learning to read. That animal at the tree line, still, certain, holding information for 11 minutes before a single human confirmed anything, was not waiting for permission. It had already finished the work. The moment a 40,000-year partnership reaches its most precise expression. The dog spoke, the team listened, and everything that followed, as it always does, happened on their terms, not on the terms of whatever was waiting for them. This partnership cannot fail to win.
What you just learned is one layer of what military working dogs bring to the most demanding environments on Earth. There are others. This channel covers all of them. Subscribe, because what comes next goes deeper still into what these animals carry. Subscribe and be our companion on this unique journey, because the next video starts exactly where this one ends. If you have any questions about a feature, please write them in the comments, and your request will be taken into consideration.